Well, hello there, Tankers of the Blitz universe. I'm Flossie, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most underrated and not reviewed Tier 9 mediums in the entire game. This is, of course, the Type 61, and it's in the same tech tree as the STB1. This is the Tier 9 that goes to the STB. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at this tank, talking about its stats, and I will be playing some live games in it to show you guys why this thing is actually really underrated. And if you haven't yet tried this tank out, I really think you should. But let's get right on into the stats. Actually, before I get into the stats, I just wanted to say if you are not yet subscribed to the channel and you are watching this video and you enjoy what you see, please do that right now. It's a great way to support the content I make, and it'll help the channel out. Anyways, now with that advertising out of the way, let's get right on into the stats, starting off with the gun. So this gun deals 330 damage per shot, which is actually really high for a tier 9 medium. Even considering that your premium shells also have pretty high alpha. You have 320 alpha on your premium AP. So because this thing is based on the STB, you don't lose that much alpha when you start shooting your premium shells, which is one of the main unique things about this tank, alongside the fact that, like I just mentioned, you have premium AP and standard AP shells. So your penetration is fantastic. You have 265 standard AP pen and 324 premium AP, which means with shell normalization, that number is in fact higher in game, and you have a ton of pen to work with. You have 10 degrees of gun depression with this tank, making it very, very flexible on any map. And talking about the overall dispersion and gun handling of this tank, your aim time is 2.9 seconds, which is amazing considering I'm using refined gun, and your dispersion of 0.269 is just as incredible. This tank will hit 99% of its shots when you're aiming properly, and it's really, really nice. Like, the gun feels amazing on this tank. You have crazy DPM for a tier 9 medium as well. You have more DPM than a Leo PTA, sitting at 2840 while using calibrated shells, and you can get it all the way up to around 3000 DPM while using gun rammer. Now, taking a look at the tank's mobility, you go 48 forward, which is nothing impressive. Pretty average for a medium, honestly. And 20 reverse speed is pretty nice, I will say. It helps you get out of situations very easily, and it's a good thing to have on a medium tank. In terms of your power to weight, though, nothing impressive. 19 is okay for a medium tank. You'll get around the map fast enough, I guess, for the majority of battles. So, speaking of battles, we're going to get right on into battle number 1. And here we are, Rockfield for game number 1. Pretty good map to start things off. And we are also top tier, so this is going to be very, very good indeed. Now, the reason I didn't really mention the armor profile in the first section of this video is because it doesn't really have armor. That's basically the main downside of this tank, is you don't have armor, and pairing that with your kind of average mobility, if you get caught out in bad situations, you're going to get deleted in this tank. And a lot of tank destroyers know that you have very weak armor, and so they're going to load HE shells and absolutely destroy you. So you really have to stay with your team. You really have to make sure you have cover around you when you are playing this tank, and you have to know what the enemy tanks are like in terms of their alpha, in terms of how much HE damage they can do, because yeah, it's not very brawly, I'm going to say that right now. If you come up against another medium tank, chances are they can even HE your side in some situations, so you really have to be careful with not having any armor in this tank. But all the other stats around this tank kind of make up for that if you know what you're doing. So obviously a lot of people find it difficult to play in a tank like this because of that lack of armor, even if the rest of the tank is insanely good. But for a player who does know what they're doing, this tank is absolutely devastating to the enemy team, and we're going to find that out, or I'm going to show you that very shortly here. Now, we do see 2 of the enemy players are on this side of the map, which is very odd, and the reason I'm on this side of the map is because my entire team is here as well, so there's no point in me basically going by myself to the other side of the map where I normally would go if my whole team is going to be here anyways. So unfortunately for me, it looks like that AMX was just really into tunneling me right now, which is not very fun, but he's now dead, so I could care less. And same with this STRV. Bro is literally only shooting me, even though there's other tanks in front of him. So Oh well, I guess it is what it is. We didn't do a whole lot of damage, but at least we cleared out this side of the map effectively. So now I'm going to make my way back into our spawn here, as their team is now pushing up behind us, and I kind of hope our whole team turns around here, because it would be nice, instead of just flanking into their spawn, to turn around and deal with what's behind us. So that's what I'm going to do right now. We get a shell into this bat chat here, and yeah, he's already dead. The enemy team's not lasting very long, I'm going to tell you that right now. And this Scorpion G is going to be next. I don't know why this guy's in the open by himself. But yeah, he's not a medium tank, bro. I don't know why he thinks he's like a medium tank trying to flank the map right now. Not happening. And the Emil is actually shooting at my teammate. Now, you'll notice I just got a very lucky bounce there. That won't be happening all too much. Your gun mantlet is probably the most troll part of the tank, so that guy did obviously hit my gun mantlet, meaning that it bounced, but everywhere else on this tank is complete paper, so you really, really have to be careful, like I said, with where you're putting this tank to try to not get nuked. Yo, my throat's dying too. Anyways, speaking of dying, we're going to try and get this Emil out of the game now. And somehow we did actually get spotted from him, so I might take a couple shots here, but I'm just really trying to farm this guy out. Oh, he does actually bounce my side somehow. Okay. Well, that's good. We're going to pick him off with the final shot right there for 300 damage. And now I have a Yo shooting at me. That's fun. That's actually really fun. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get another shot into this Yo. He is obviously going to YOLO me because he does want me to get out of the game, which I don't blame him. Honestly, if I was this Yo too, I'd be like, yeah, I'm trying to get this guy out of the game. But we'll see if that actually works out for him. It's not like I'm really worried, because even if I die, we're still going to win this game. But I'm going to get a shell into the Yo. Yo, he actually does bounce, though, and I was able to reverse, luckily using my 20 reverse speed to get back before he was able to shoot me a third time, and we hit him in the hatch with our nice accuracy. It's quite wild that that Yo actually bounced that second shot on me, though, I'm not going to lie. And, oh my god, Yo, this guy actually killed one of the teammates, so maybe I can get another shell in before the game ends. Come on. Yes, 374, using the nice accuracy once again to get a quick shell into that E75 TS. And I mean, you can see, that was a very confusing game. I'm sure my gameplay showed that, but I was very confused as to what I wanted to do that game because of where their team was pushing and where my team went. I don't normally go that side of the map, so yeah. But all things considered, even with that weird game and me kind of driving all over the place, I still managed to do 3,600 damage and get 3 kills, and that was a first class, because, again, not many people play this tank, not many people know it's actually good. So, with game number 1 out of the way, we're going to jump right on into our next helping of gameplay right here. And here we are, battle number 2. So, what I think really happened is this tank used to be quite bad. So, everyone who did play this tank back in the day, who knew it was terrible, they probably still think it's bad, which is why it's kind of not used. No one really makes reviews on it because it's just sort of your average tier 9 medium, and people think it's actually under average in terms of its stats. But I do think this tank is super, super underrated, and I know there's a couple other people who do know about this tank being really good as well. But yeah, I only really found out about its amazing like stats a couple months ago, because I was one of the people who thought it was kind of terrible, knowing and playing it in the past. But yeah, I revisited it a couple months ago on stream, and it's absolutely amazing. So that's why I'm kind of making this video now, to show you guys that there are actually other good tanks out there than what everyone's reviewing. So we're on New Bay for battle number 2. I'm really just going to scout this bridge and see where their team is, but considering they've capped B already, I'm assuming they're going to be going town. So with that information out of the way, I'm going to make my way to where I can shoot this crossing here, and players like that Destiny... Wait, how'd that guy not get penned? I don't know. My shell kind of went nowhere there, but oh well. We do finally get a shell into someone. The Soul Eater... Oh wait, I did damage someone else. I just saw I have 700 damage on my counter. So my shell disappeared into another player. That's what happened there. And instead of shooting at the Destiny, it hit something else, that's actually pretty funny. That's happened to me more than once, and I'm like, why is my shell just disappearing? And then I see my damage counter, and I'm like, ah, I see. Anyways, though, oh, hello. There's an AFKWZ in spawn, so, I mean, I'm going to take this opportunity to farm this guy before, there we go, before he becomes un-AFK. That's what I always find interesting, is like the second you shoot at someone, that's usually when they start actually playing the game. Not, you know, at the beginning of a battle like they should. It's when they start getting shot at that they move. It's very interesting, but anyways, I am unfortunately unable to pen this guy in the lower plate. Would have been nice to hit both of those shots. We're going to try again, though. And using our premium AP is quite nice because it means we can actually pen through people's tracks. It's not like a heat shell where you have to worry about people's track armor stopping your shells. Premium AP is absolutely fantastic, and you can see the amount of damage we're already at in such a short amount of time. We're already at 2,600. All thanks to that WZ being AFK, which is quite nice. Although he's not really AFK, I will say. He was AFK for like my first shot into him, and then after that, he's now back. But I was really hoping to hit that Scorpion. I was going to say, but we're going to be able to kill the Scorpion. At least my teammate does. That's good. And now that the Destiny is on no health either, I'm going to play super aggressive, try to pick up these kills, and move into the enemy's positions right here. So I'm going to try and get this Chimera out of the game next. And all that's left after that is the last two remaining players, one being the WZ and the other being the Rompanzer. Both of them are not that healthy anymore, so chances are I'm not going to do too much more damage this game, but hopefully, since that Rompanzer did just kill the guy, I might be able to get one more shell into him. There we go. And the WZ is still at 1,000 health, and my teammates are, in fact, on the bridge. So because this WZ is below the bridge, I should be able to get a little bit more farm out. Now, this game was a lot better of a result for my HP, at least. Because I kind of knew what their team was going to be doing, it was easier for me to not bleed my HP, which is very important in a tank like this. You saw the very first game I played in it, like last battle, I bled a lot of health, which doesn't help late game, and you saw how much I had to be scared of that Yo killing me off at the end of that battle. But this game, I had a lot of HP, so I could YOLO in and kind of not really care. And you can see there, result, 3,700 damage, 4 kills. Very, very nice stuff for battle number 2. And we're going to get right on into our final game of the video. So what do you guys think of this tank? Have any of you tried it? Have any of you played it? What do you think of its abilities as a medium tank? Almost like a light tank, I would say, because it doesn't really have armor. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think of this vehicle. And for game number 3, we are, of course, on Faust. So another good map for medium tanks. My team needs to support me, though, if I'm going to be doing well this game. So we're going to see what kind of team support I get this battle. But looks like my team is going to be going heavy side, which is, it's strange, to say the least. I don't know. Like, heavy side's fine and all, but looking at their lineup and them probably all going to be going, or their whole team's going to be going A side, probably. We'll see what happens. Actually, wait, they're capping D. I don't know, guys. Teams have been so confusing today. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Like, why is their team going D? Whatever. You know what? I'm going to take this corner spot right here and basically just make sure that the enemy team cannot push up more aggressive than they are. So there we go. We get a shot into the Yo because, of course, I was not spotted at the time. And actually, wait, I'm still not spotted. Hold on a second. How am I not spotted? This guy's, like, not even that far away from me. I don't know, guys. But anyways, we're going to keep getting shells into this Yo. He does hit me once, but I do outtrade him, so I'm not worried about that at all. And he's at 500 health now, which is kind of funny. Yeah, not the best play there, Yo, but to each their own. And our low is actually making a very aggressive play as well. Seeing as the Yo just shot, I'm going to slap him with a 413 max roll shell right there. And he is now dead already. Next up, I'm going to move over to where this shark is. I did actually just see I got shot, so it looks like someone might be camping in their spawn. So I'm going to move up to a safer position right here and start getting shells into this shark. You can see the nice premium pen just buttering right through this guy's turret. Even if he slightly angles, it's very, very easy to pen in this tank. Might have been the KPZ that actually shot at me. That guy seems to be the only one really camping on their team, unless the AMX CDA is also back here. I'm not sure. But we're going to find out very shortly here. I am going to hopefully... Okay, that was a horrible shot. I was going to say I was hopefully going to be able to get a shell into that KPZ. He is going to turn around, it looks like. So, luckily for me, I have lots of team support, so it doesn't really matter even if he does. I am going to be a little bit careful, though, especially about tanks like that T-54E1, who can absolutely nuke me with the clipping power it has. So, yeah, here's the KPZ. That was an unfortunate shot to be taking. I was really hoping that I was going to be able to bait that shot out from that guy, but it doesn't look like that was the case. So now, luckily, this guy's on a reload, so I'm going to use my DPM to get another shell into his rear. And it looks like he is focused on that T95 on my team, but the only problem is that T54E1 is actually focusing on me as well. Now that he did turn around, though, the T54E1, I'm going to start shooting at this KPZ once again, and I'm going to hopefully be able to reverse out of the situation quick enough before he actually gets around that corner. Hopefully the low doesn't just block me. That would be nice. Thank you. And hopefully the low also takes the shot for me right there. Very nice stuff. Thank you for using your HP like a heavy tank player should. Excellent stuff right there. And loading my premium shells allows me to get another shell into that KPZ just before he gets picked off. And I mean, again, look at the DPM. Like, this is what makes the tank so very strong, is the DPM, penetration, overall just flexibility that this tank has with its good gun depression. Yeah, you can really just see where this tank is so very good. Now, unfortunately for me, this is not looking good in terms of winning this battle, simply because, well, my team is all kind of stuck over here. We're down on base cap, and a lot of us are down on HP compared to the enemy team. So this is going to be very, very difficult for me to win, and I really have to stick with my team if we want this to be a win. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do now, because, like, their team, they have a T49, who I'm really worried about. Obviously, they have their Lewis, who's pretty healthy, and there was a guy on, like, 200 health over here. There he is. T54E1 is the 200 health player. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try to get to base A, because that'll be a good safe spot where I can keep my eye on this guy right here. Actually, is he going to... what is he going to do? Hold on a second. Okay. I mean, that works too. But I was going to say it would be an easy way for me to keep my eye on that player without him circling me. But now I did, in fact, kill him, and we are up on base cap. But just to make sure we're up on base cap, I am going to get myself into base A, which is going to really give the enemy team a hard time, and they're really going to be pressured into pushing us. Hopefully they don't just YOLO me. I mean, that's what I expect them to do. But I think with our base cap lead, there's not much they can actually do about it. And it looks like my team is actually capping their final base as well. I am spotted, so I'm expecting that to be one of the players. Yeah, there's the T49. He does rush me, but he misses, and I was able to get another shell into him. That brought us over 4,500 damage dealt in our third and final battle. An absolutely amazing game. Showing why it's important to know how to position your tank properly, and honestly showing why your HP is so very important, because if I didn't have HP, if I'd bled it all out early game, that KPZ would have killed me mid-game when he did shoot me there. I definitely could have played it smarter in that mid-game situation and just not bled to the KPZ, but for what it is, that was a fantastic game. And really just shows you why this is a fantastic tank that all of you guys should try out if you are into medium tanks with less armor and more DPM, kind of like a Leopard in a sense. So there you go, guys. That is the Type 61. And for any of you out there who are not yet subscribed to my channel, I highly recommend you do so, as it's a fantastic way to support content like this and stay up to date when I post videos almost daily. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.